Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening wherever you are. My name is Kevin Doe here with Equipboard. Today, I will be doing a review and demonstration of this little technological marvel. The pedal that I'm holding here is the Boss SY-1 synthesizer pedal. This is the small compact version of Boss's other synthesizer pedals, notably the SY-200 and the SY-300, but still packs quite a lot of tech into such a small package. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with the history of guitar synths, there have been guitar synthesizers that have existed, whether you're looking at devices like the Synthax, some of the offerings from Roland, and many other companies. Much of that required the use of a hexaphonic pickup, which was a pickup with 6 individual magnets that picked up the response of each string, and that information got sent off to the synthesizer for processing. But for many players, it meant a certain amount of retrofitting to install that pickup onto their guitar, some of which were more permanent than others. But you did require that extra piece of hardware just to get the whole thing to work. What's different and amazing about the Boss SY synthesizer pedals is that it tracks your guitar using your guitar's regular pickups. There is no need to install a special pickup in order to use this synth pedal. So on the face we have some controls here to control both the synth sound and the blend of your guitar's original signal. Starting on left, we have this double rotary here that controls the level of both the synthesized sound and your guitar's direct sound. We also have a double rotary here. One of them is for tone and rate, depending on the patch. So the tone is like a tone control on the guitar, which does a high-end roll-off. The rate control will control the speed of certain synth patches, notably the sequencers. The other one being a depth knob, which controls the sort of like the intensity of the synthesized sound. And from there you have 2 dials to help you select your synth sound. We have this dial right here, which allows you to select the sound of the synth. So this is where you can choose either to have a pad, a lead sound, a chimey bell sound, an organ sound, a sequenced sound. All told, there are 8 sounds in total in 11 different banks. So some of them are doubled. So you have 2 banks of lead sounds, 2 banks of sequence sounds, and 2 banks of special effects sounds. Everything else only has 1 bank. Followed by that, you have a second rotary knob, which gives you 11 different variations on each sound. So let's say you select the bell sound. Bell sound is loaded, and you have 11 different versions of that bell sound loaded in the pedal that you can choose from. All told, there are also 5 different jacks. You have your standard input and output for the effect. You also have a send and return control for your guitar's clean signal, and we'll get to that in a minute. You also have a jack here for which you can plug in either an expression pedal or a switch for some additional functionality. And there's also another control in here. If you play a sound and hold down on the foot switch will hold on and sustain the sound while you play over it. As far as power goes, you can power this with the standard 9-volt battery. Like every other Boss pedal, undo the screw, lift up the flap, there's your battery clip. Or you can use any 9-volt adapter that is suitable for powering pedals. 9-volt DC, you can power it right here. You also have this little switch here to let you select between guitar and bass. So if you're playing guitar, switch it over to guitar. If you're going to use this with bass, switch it over to bass. What this does is that it sets the pedal's tracking, so it'll track better with each instrument. Now, for somebody who likes synthesized sounds, some of those fun 80s sounds, this pedal will certainly provide hours and hours of enjoyment and entertainment. Between the 11 different settings and 11 different variations, you have, if I do my math correctly, 121 different sounds that you can pull out of this little box. Now, when it comes to plugging this pedal in, this is the kind of pedal that would like to see the guitar first in order to get the most accurate tracking. So this does belong on the front of the pedal board. However, if you were just to go in straight in and out, like you would with any other Boss pedal, the synthesized sound then becomes affected by everything else that comes after it. So your gains, your overdrives, reverbs, delays, modulation, etc., etc. Personally, for me, I find that anytime you're using a synthesized sound, it is best left as clean and unadulterated as possible, as far along the chain as you can. So there are a couple of different ways to wire this up to do it. If you're the kind of player who's running everything into one amplifier, and you have a collection of pedals in front of you, best way to go about it is to put this at the front of your chain, send jack out to the pedal board, into the input of the pedal board. Out of your pedal board, back into the return. What this will do is send your unaffected guitar signal out the send into your pedal board, just like as if you plug your guitar straight into it, and then back into the return into the pedal, and the output of this pedal will go to your amplifier. So what you would do then is use the direct volume knob to turn up your regular guitar signal, meaning your guitar through your pedals, and that gets sent to the amp, summed out with the synth sounds coming out of the output. So what this means is that your guitar sounds like your guitar through your pedals, and the synth sound will remain as clean as possible going into the amplifier. The best case scenario for this would also to have a pedal platform style amp, so something that stays as clean as possible and doesn't break up. Because if you're going to use your amp's overdrive, then we encounter the same small issue of your synth sounds then becoming overdriven and distorted. However, doing this way into a clean amplifier will get you the best results in that situation. Now, the absolute ideal way to use this pedal to get the best results possible would be to use this as sort of a wet-dry rig. So this would mean that you have a separate amplifier for your guitar, as well as a separate amplifier just for the sounds coming out of the SY-1. Be it going direct into the rec box into the live console, its own output to your recording interface, or if you happen to have a keyboard amplifier on stage with you, which are more suited for full range and flat response. What you would do is you would plug your guitar into the input, you would take the send control and send that to your pedal board, and from your pedal board out to your amplifier. Now, if you do this and don't plug anything to the return jack, the direct volume knob becomes disengaged. You just get unity gain out to your pedal board, out to your amplifier. And then from there, the output, the regular output of the pedal, into a keyboard amplifier or a direct box, the cleanest source possible to get the best sound possible. This does mean a bigger and a bit more of a sophisticated rig, but you will get the absolute best quality sound out of the synthesized sounds from this pedal. From there as well, if you are so inclined, using the third method, you can further connect the output to the synthesizer's own pedals. So if you have an extra delay pedal, an extra reverb pedal, maybe some modulation, something else that's fun, you can then just have the synthesized sound affected while your guitar remains the guitar that you know and love. However, for most people, option 2 is probably the best, which is to hit the send to your pedal board, back into the return, output of this to your amplifier, and blend to taste using the level controls. So enough jibber jabber from me. Let's hear how this pedal sounds. For this demonstration, I'll be patching up my rig. Like most people, I assume probably will, using the second option, which is to have my pedal board completely inside the effects loop of this pedal, and this going out to my recording interface. This will allow me to use an overdrive pedal on my guitar's clean signal without affecting the synthesized sounds coming out of the pedal. So, for the overdrive itself, I will be using my Jackson Audio Broken Arrow. I will be also using a custom-made Neumann fuzz for any fuzz sounds that I may use. And the output of the pedal is going straight into my recording interface, where I'll be using the Plugin Alliance Bass Dude plugin for my amp sounds. The Bass Dude is a recreation of a Fender Bassman, which is a notoriously clean amplifier. So this will probably be the most ideal situation of option 2, if you will. Also, for a couple of the demonstrations, I will have an expression pedal plugged into the SY-1. Unfortunately, you won't see it because it will be off camera. However, I will be using it to manipulate the tone of a couple of patches. So that will give sort of a wah effect with the sounds coming in and out. For the demonstration as well, I'll be running through all the banks of sounds and 3 variations per bank, just to give you a little idea of what this pedal has to offer. After I've done that, I'll blend back in some guitar and come up with some cool stuff that uses the guitar, both clean and distorted, along with the sounds of the SY-1. So, who is this pedal for? Well, if you're a fan of synthesized keyboard sounds, 1980s keyboard sounds, and you don't play keyboards, but you want to work in those sounds somehow, this pedal probably holds the answer for you. If you play in a 3-piece or 4-piece band that has no keyboards and you want to beef up your sound a little bit with some of these synthesized sounds, these pads, some of these sequences, this is a good way to go about it. If you do go with this pedal and your setup is more or less minimal, I do recommend going with the second routing option that we discussed earlier, which is to use the FX loop to plug your pedal board in so that your main guitar sound remains unadulterated and just output directly into a clean amplifier. So if you've enjoyed this video, why not give it a like? Do share it with your guitar synthesizer loving friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you are subscribed or you just subscribed, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you are notified of new videos the second they come out. We hope you've enjoyed this review and demonstration of the Boss SY-1 synthesizer pedal. Once again, for Equipboard, my name is Kevin Doe. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.